know, it's pretty fun for me is talking to different guys as I go different places. And Colton Heward is one of the guides here at Wild Country Outfitters. And we were sitting down and talking, and I always circle things back to archery. That's one of my passions. I love it all, you know, rifle, muzzleloader, pistol, it doesn't matter. But I like circling things back to archery because I like getting animals in close. But in talking with Colton, I want to share some of the things he said because it matches exactly with what a lot of other experienced guides I've talked to have found. So I want to introduce Colton. I want to talk to him a little bit about what he does. And I know that you know how lucky you are to be out here, right?
Absolutely. This is one of the premier ranches in the West, and
in the whole West.
In the whole West, you know. And for elk hunting, it's Disneyland for elk hunters. I mean, you'll go out and you'll see 40, 50 6-point bulls a day sometimes, and you just hear bugles from the time you get out of the truck until you get back. I mean, it's an elk hunter's dream.
And you've guided here for how long?
10 years now.
How could you ever guide anywhere else?
It makes it a little bit difficult. It gives you almost a skewed idea of what elk hunting is in a lot of places, to be honest, just because this is just chaos here.
Colton's coming elk hunting with me, with the guys from Peterson's Hunting, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to come out elk hunting with me next month, and I'm like, I'm already apologizing to him. Okay, Colton, just so you know.
No.
No, I know, you're awesome.
You're good.
And you were like, no, dude, I just love to hunt.
Oh, yeah.
I love that about you. But before we turned on the camera, and you know, you and me were sitting in the lodge and we were talking, and you said something that really rang true with me. And I've talked about this before. I wrote a book called Bow Hunting Western Big Game, where I try to give guys some real world information.
Yep.
Like, you know, years of spending time in the woods, just like your 10 years of guiding.
Right.
You know, if you guide here 1 year, I would say you probably get as much experience calling elk in, looking at elk, learning about their behavior, as most guys could learn in 30 or 40
Absolutely.
years of hardcore public land hunting.
No doubt about it. You know, and that's I can base it off that because I get to guide here. I don't get to hunt here. My hunting experience is on public land, and so, you know, I can see both sides. You know, public land, you hear a bugle 3 ridges over, you're gone.
Right, you're heading
here. It's like you hear a bugle down below you, then there's one there and one there and one there, and then you're trying to decide where to go. You know, and so it's just a whole different ballgame. But I see that side of things, and just super fortunate to have the opportunities up here to learn. You know, learn how these elk act, what they're doing, what they react to, how they react coming to us, and whatever.
See, so. And that's why it hits home with me. I said, and I thought it'd be fun talking to Colton because he gets to guide in the most amazing elk place I've ever seen. But I said, how many elk do you have to call in? Even in a place like this, it gets less hunting pressure, arguably, than almost anywhere else that's hunted with the number of bulls that are here. How many elk do you have to call in with a bow in the bow range to kill one? And I even, I even said, let's talk about bulls that you're willing to harvest, like older, mature bulls.
Yep.
And what did you tell me?
About 7 to 10 bulls before we shoot one. See, is what I would say.
That's incredible, and that's so huge to me because I've said 1 out of 10, just for a rough average. And I think it's interesting that we're right in the wheelhouse with that 7 to 10.
No matter where you're at.
Right, public land, here, anywhere. Talk about why that is.
You know, calling in bulls is exciting. There's nothing like a bull, you know, coming in, screaming in your face, but they are coming to you. They are very alert. They are looking for something. So they're going to catch any movement. And what people don't realize, they can pinpoint your location when you blow on that cow call so fast and from a long distance away. And so, you know, they're coming in on high alert. They're looking for something. They're looking for movement. They're looking for sound.
Scent.
And scent, exactly. And so it's just angles oftentimes too. They're coming right to you. They're not going to come broadside. They're going to come right at you. And so it's difficult to oftentimes get that shot off when they're coming to you.
See, and I'm so happy you shared that because I think there's a lot of people that have a skewed sense. I think people watch my TV show or other shows that have been shot here as well, and it's, you know, and then the bull comes running in and he's perfectly broadside, and I'll have guys come to my camp every year and they'll say, man, I really want to kill a bull. And I'll say, okay, here's the best way to kill him. Because in my experience, and it was so neat because Colton mirrored what I had said on this part, was when you sit in a tree stand or ground blind or over a water hole or wallow, we kill 7 out of 10 versus 1 out of 7 out of 10.
Yeah, well, and you think about it, they have no idea they're even being watched. You know, if we sit water here fairly often in wallows. And if you're sitting in water, my hunter last week, we went and sat a water hole, and we weren't there for 10 minutes. And this bull came up out of this bottom. And he came and he was splashing around, and then he stepped out in the water and he was facing us for 5-10 minutes, drinking, just playing around. And finally the bull just turned broadside.
Perfect shot.
Just X'd him, you know, and the bull never had a clue we were there. And there's a lot to be said for that when you're waiting for the right angle to take, you know, the right shot to take. If you have that time and it's not a pressured thing, they're gonna give you a shot. You just have to be patient enough to wait for it.
See, I think that's so huge, and I'm probably going to use this even on the internet or something, because this is something really important, and I like to talk to people about it, because I'll have guys that'll spend their hard-earned money and come with me, and I'll say, do you want to have fun and you know, chase bulls and call them and get some close encounters and maybe hear them ripping bugles, or do you want to harvest one? Because here is the most efficient way
to kill them.
To kill that animal.
So
I love that a guy like Colton that's got 10 years guiding, and probably one of the most, well, it is the most incredible place out west that I've ever seen, with tons of elk, you know, has experienced the same thing. So when you're going out elk hunting, whether it's public land, whether it's a, you know, guided hunt, one, listen to the guide, but two, when you're setting up to try and have some experience, you know, or have not only a great experience, but have the best opportunity at harvesting an animal, you know, don't overlook a tree stand, a ground blind, or just sitting down by a trail, a water hole, a wallow, agriculture.
Well, and from guide to guide, trust your guide. Do what your guide tells you to do. You know, he's going to do his best to give you the best opportunity to fill your tag.
That's the toughest though, right?
It is.
Because sometimes we'll have guys, and I know it kills them. I've had guys sit water for 3 days in a row, and they're like,
I don't know.
Dude, I'm done. I don't think you know what you're talking about. I'm like, please, I know there may only be one elk that comes in during a 5-day hunt, but when he comes in,
you're gonna
the
have
odds are you're going to have the opportunity. Well, pretty awesome. I'm here with Colton, one of the guides here for the last 10 years at Wild Country Outfitters, and that's just some elk hunting tips from a guy that's hunting one of the most incredible places I've ever seen. Hey, thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to you coming out hunting with me. We'll probably air that as well. So when you shoot a spike and I go, man, that's him right there. Take him.
Hey, I'll get all jacked up.
He
love it.
Likes backstrap as much as I
That's
do.
right.
So
That's right.
I got to add this into. That was the toughest thing about hunting here. Is I felt like a little kid. I'm sure I was driving Tom crazy because I kept going, can I shoot that one? Like, can I shoot that one? He's like, no. And I'm like, that one looks like a mature one. No. Like, it was like, you know, when I finally got the green light, that's when I got shaky. Yeah, I was like, he was like, yeah, we can shoot that one. I was like, nah. And I thought I was the only one. And then I went hunting with Todd the next day.
Same
from
thing.
Vance Outdoors. Oh, yeah, it was great. And Todd, I was watching Todd. He's like, can I shoot that one, Tom? And he's like, no. He's like, can I shoot that one? He's like, no. So I was like, okay, whew, I'm not the only one.
No,
do you get that
good.
every day?
Every day.
Oh, it's just...
especially on the elk. I mean, because you just look at so many bulls, and for most people, a 6-point bull is like the pinnacle, right?
Right, that's what you
know. And we're looking at dozens of them a day, and so we're just weeding through. Strict management plan. We're shooting 7.5-year-old bulls or older, and it shows. You know, you look at the quality of bulls we're killing, and there's a reason why. We have the numbers, and they're strictly managed.
Thanks for listening to me and Colton. I hope some of those tips help you out when you're on your elk hunt.